to tonight's LitQuake and Foglifter event. Let's give a nice big round of applause for LitQuake being in the house. Thing that every time I travel to a new city, they're like, oh, I wish we had a LitQuake. And I'm like, I bet you do, because it's pretty awesome. Also, let's give a big round of applause to Foglifter for being here. Foglifter is fantastic. They're really one of my favorite organizations in San Francisco, so every time they have a book, I work here at Strut, my name is Baruch, I say yes to whatever they ask because we love Foglifter. If you don't know where you are, it's my job to tell you that Strut is a sexual health clinic for the queer community. Also, if you're straight, we also don't turn you away. So, you know, everybody has a body, well, some people have sex, and some people want sexual health, and that's what we do. We're open Tuesdays through Saturdays, starting at 10 a.m. all the way to 8 p.m. And our services include HIV tests, STI tests. Those are the ones that used to be scary. They're not that scary anymore. You know, syphilis, chlamydia, what's the other one? Gonorrhea. I work here, I should know that. Oh God, don't tell my boss. Our clinic is on the second floor. It's called Magnet. It's been doing testing, free testing for the community since 2003. Woo! And since 2003, they have always known, its founders, that art and performances and visual art and writing has always been a tool to help the queer community survive epidemics, survive oppression. And so when they opened around the corner at Magnet, they decided there was going to be art on the wall. Right now we're taking a break, and there was always going to be events like the one we're doing tonight. So if you want to learn more about Strut or the San Francisco AIDS Foundation, which we are a part of, you can just go to sfaf.org. Or to see all of our upcoming fun events like this, you just follow us on Instagram at strut_SF. That's about it. The bathrooms are that way to your left. Lock the door once you get in there. The emergency exit is the way you came in. Please help me keep the walkways clear of people. You know, there's chairs everywhere, folks. If you need to stand, you can lean against this yellow wall if you want, or you can stand out there. I think that's about it. Again, we're Strut. Please follow us on Instagram. Now let's give a big round of applause for Tino! Have a good show.
Thank you, Baruch.
Lovely.
All right, everyone. Hello, everyone. How are we doing?
Good.
Good evening, folks. Happy Locktober. Happy spooky season. Hope all of you are having a lovely Friday night. My name is Tino V Jr. I am the PR events coordinator with Foglifter. Welcome to our release party for our new Foglifter issue 9.2. We're so happy to also once again be a part of the 25th annual LitQuake Festival. Can we give it up for LitQuake, please? Thank you. I want to start our reading tonight with a land acknowledgement. Today, as we live our lives, it is important for us to acknowledge we are where we are and that we are living on occupied Ohlone land. And with that, we benefit from a legacy of colonization, genocide, and racism. And as the year has gone by since October 7th, and the genocide of Palestinian lives continues to happen, larger questions of complacency in genocide must be raised. We here at Foglifter are committed to working with underserved queer and trans writers, and that also means acknowledging the queer and trans writers we have lost because of racial, gender, sexual, and genocidal violence at the hands of our oppressors. I want to take this moment to acknowledge that indigenous stewards of this land and all those who are fighting for the dignity, freedom to end genocide across the world. Remember, decolonization is not abstract. It is a concrete expression of love. Land back now and free Palestine. Thank you. Before I move on with the evening, some special shout outs need to happen. Like I said, a big shout out to Strut for hosting us tonight. But more importantly, special round of applause to Baruch Porras-Hernandez for getting us all in here. He worked endlessly to bring us back here every year and for their support of queer, trans, and gender non-conforming voices that have been shared in this space. So please, special round of applause for Baruch, everyone. He's truly a pillar in our community. A special thank you to LitQuake and all the organizers who can make our October releases so special. And lastly, a special thanks to all of you for coming out tonight and supporting our new issue. There are plenty of things you gays could be doing with your Friday night. but you chose to come here tonight and shower us with your support. We're coming upon 10 years of Foglifter, and Foglifter would not continue if it wasn't for the constant support from our contributors, staff, and readers like you. So thank you. And applause. We have some news to share. For those of you who were here last year, you might be aware that the issue didn't arrive on time. So we had a issue release party without an issue to release. I'm glad to announce that it's not the case this year. Our new 9.2 issues are hot off the press. You can cop your own copy at the back for $15. Yeah! So when I make a price, I announce the price, y'all have to say, only blah, blah, blah price. And you can't buy it. They're only $15.
Only $15.
What? Or not to buy it. Exactly. So grab a copy of your new issue with Chad in the back. Chad, everyone say hi, Chad.
Hi, Chad.
Yeah, they can hook you all up back over there and grab a copy from them. And finally, we have an amazing ASL interpreter over here. Everyone say hi, Patty.
Hi,
Patty. Please remain quiet during the reading so that it makes their job a lot easier to interpret. Jazz hands are welcome if you want to show some support to your peers. Everything these is really great. Spirit fingers. But please cheer extra hard in between each reader. And make the night go a lot more pleasantly. If this is your first time hearing of Foglifter, lucky you. You're in for a treat tonight. We're a biannual journal of today's most dynamic, urgent, and delightful queer and trans writing. We're a space where LGBTQI2 spirit writers celebrate, mourn, rage, and embrace. We have also published some incredible writers, some of whom you'll hear from tonight. And we're so excited to be celebrating their newest issue with all of you. If you are also a queer or trans writer or a poet, we have some good news for you. There are a couple ways that you can be a part of Foglifter. We are open for submissions for our next journal issue until November 1st. So if you got a bit of time, send us your weirdest, tenderest, and most transgressive and exuberant work. We're open for all categories: fiction, nonfiction, hybrid, poetry. We're open for submissions for our next journal issue until November 1st. So you got some bit of time to send us all your weirdest, tenderest, most transgressive, and exuberant work. We're open for all categories: fiction, nonfiction, hybrid, poetry, drama, you name it. Send it as soon as you can because the reading's gonna end soon. For the submission link, please visit us at linktree.com/Foglifter. That's linktree.com/FOGLIFTER. Some people don't know how to spell. I'm one of those people. It would be awesome if you could take a minute to fill out these audience surveys you have in your chair. That's how we make sure that we are doing the best possible job serving you, our community. When you're done, please turn all your surveys into Sarah. Sarah, say hi to the lovely audience over there. That's Sarah. Everyone say hi, Sarah.
Hi. Hi.
Yeah, cool. All right, enough with all these formalities. I'm so excited to introduce these magnetic, these talented, these breathtaking, these incomparable contributors to this issue. That's right. I got these bios, so let me get into them right quick. First up, I am so happy to introduce, I'm so happy to introduce Amalee Bee. Amalee Bee, pronouns she, they, is a Black queer writer, artist, and convener? That's how you can say that. Convener of communal spaces based in Oakland, California. Their written work spans experimental poetry, nonfiction, science fiction, and prose. Her practice also includes painting, installation, and conceptual artwork. A dispatch from other worlds, timelines, dream spaces, Amalee's writing often relies on sensuality, metaphor, and symbol rather than logic to make meaning, highlighting the instability, limits, and potentialities of language for liberation, healing, and knowledge. Their poetry has been published in the MANIA magazine, I love them, and they were selected as a 2023 Written in Residence for Radar Productions Show Us Your Spine's residency. Everyone, please show some love to our first reader of tonight, Amalee Bee. Thanks.
sorry to do this, but it's Amalee.
My bad.
Also, bios are so much more embarrassing when you hear them out loud. Just pretend you didn't hear any of that. Before I start, can we all take like a deep breath together? Just like arrive here and like try to let go of whatever you came in here with, or not, but you're here now. I'm gonna read like maybe 3 or 4 poems for you. They're pretty short because I have a short attention span. This one's called Promise. In this life, you will no longer drag me by the throat, fangs bloodied white. They don't tell you torn flesh is white, pure white like the moon, like surf foam. In this life, you will not kill me cut by cut, slicing years from my belly. It's you who will be disappeared this time, will never be touched by sun. This one's a little bit longer. It's called July 8th, Rememory. They say water holds memory, and that makes sense because water is one endless filtering spiral over and over back over herself, from earth to sky to body, to earth to sky, holding everything in thunder grip and laughing trickle and big mother wave arms. And they say memory is how we can time travel, unravel what happened to us and to you and to me, remember. Your body is mostly water. What does it remember? In high school, I was obsessed with whale songs, and in middle school, I thought I could talk to dolphins, and I clicked to myself and I made no friends, and it was only years later when I was with you at dinner and you gave me Undrowned by Alexis Pauline Gumbs. It was only then, as I read the introduction, I realized I was not alone, that there were other whale song loving, dolphin clicking sisters time traveling through memories not their own, which made me wonder, is a premonition a memory sent from future water? Because I sat there at dinner only because my heart had been broken. I sat there at dinner only because my heart had been broken nearly a year before, and only because I had gone to the ocean and found rivers tucked between homes in Oakland, and I went to the ocean with flowers and tears and crying. I always touched her, felt her wide and terrifying embrace, and the river, waded into her golden fabric of sound for at least a year, could only find myself in the eyes of these sisters. And it is funny, isn't it, that his name is Water too, and water was the cause and the solution to this heartbreak, that he chose the name of the mother I didn't know, could not recall, until his betrayal led me back to her. Hard to think then anything other than everything perhaps is a memory of some kind or other, that everything perhaps is a spiral of significance, that everything perhaps is sacred if this body of water can only remember it. Whales are so cool. I really didn't have friends in middle school. That's like true. Okay, this poem is called The Beauty and the Terror, and it's for everyone facing white supremacist imperial violence, which honestly is all of us. I don't want to make false equivalencies, but yeah, it sucks for all of us. The Beauty and the Terror. If I must die, if we must die, if the law is a white dog, if this life is both a miracle and a knot of bad magic, if magnolia trees and poppy seeds, cedar leaves and cobalt streams are the garden in my mind, if I am not capable of keeping my eyes open as the curve of the sun is devouring earth, let every glimpse I get behind the curtain and beyond the veil be seared in my memory. Let the kite fly in face of monsters we defy. Let the bodies and blood that litter these peaceful, nauseating streets be always visible to me. And let the death and miracles inflame me to burn in their names. I just want to say about this poem. I wrote it obviously partially thinking about Fox, I don't know how to say his name, a Palestinian poet, and also Claude McKay, who wrote a similar poem called If We Must Die, about lynching himself. Okay, I have one more for you. Sorry, these are all really happening because I write them to let go of my pain. So, thank you for being here. Last one is called Solo. There are cracks in this world. There are cracks in this world, and the seams are ripping. Out of the corner of my eye, I see flashes of light, glimpses of shadow with no reference point. In the distance, I can hear singing, rising out of the highway. Everything I touch has a parallel life. My movements push against the curtain that divides us, brushing the texture of death. I say death because death is the illusion of separation, like this poem. The truth is, I am being coaxed out of a cocoon that has been spun over centuries from fear and violation, but I am unraveling. I am going mad or coming home. I am emergent reality. I am the activity of love. I am trembling wet wings shaking as they push toward unfolding. I am tightly packed blossom ready to burst. I am the birther and the born. Some things are made to be torn. Thank you guys.
Everyone, please show some love to Amalee one more time. Thank you. Everyone, let's keep that love going for our next reader coming up to the stage, Sienna fereshteh. Did I pronounce that correctly? Thank you. Sienna is a multiracial Iranian American artist based in the South Bay area. They believe that their fundamental role as a poet is to resist the insidious violence of erasure, to pay witness to humanity and its struggle for collective liberation, such that our love may be remembered as much as our grief, our pleasure as much as our suffering, and our desire as much as our death. You can find them on Instagram at Sienna fereshteh. Everyone, please show some love to Sienna.
Hi, I'm Sienna. I'm going to be reading the 2 poems that were published by Foglifter. I'm going to read it out of the copy I just got. If you have one, it's on page 41, the first one.
Church.
Something like that. All right. Worms. A creature unfurls inside me, enthroned, unleashing silver swords against my right side, tonsils, lymph nodes, ovaries, inflamed pickle blue, howling. A worm pulsates in my pathos. I thought I was alone. Bedbound, we cry together. A tear for Frida. 2 for Foru. 3 for every plant I killed while keeping myself watered. We invite the creature closer, unafraid of his hideous truth. It's true. We all have our dirt. And the second one I'll be reading is on page 84. Yeah. All right, and this one is called BAKLAVA. The thing about honey, you say, and I know by your curling lips something foolish is coming. Citrus peel simmering, your thumb catching honey as it drips in the pot. It's best sucked off the finger of a lover. A bashful eye, my mind, on softer things than fucking on kitchen tiles. You chew your lips, blow O's out the window. I'm light enough to sway from ring to ring. Past due for a sweet, some fingers on my tongue, rose, pistachio, phyllo, splintered, could have been glass, but we chose chins soaked in syrup and cum. We keep the blinds open, let the world witness. Thank you.
I love being across the room when poets end their thing. Everyone, please show some Sienna one more time. Thank you. Before we continue, I said church earlier, so we're going to do something very church related. For those of you who grew up with religious trauma, you know what's coming. Hi, so this is the collection hat right here. The work that we do here at Foglifter is possible because of all of you. But that being said, we do want to continue to keep doing what we do. So if you love what you're seeing tonight, if you have been actively supporting us, please, the best thing you can do is throw $1, throw $2, throw $5, throw as many money as you can in here. If you want to throw $1 million in here, you can write that check out to Fortino Vasquez-Hernandez. I will make sure that money gets to where it needs to go. I promise
The
you.
Bay Area makes $1 million.
So why are these homes like $1 million? Doesn't make any sense to me. Thank you. So I'm gonna pass this around. You guys, I wanted to go into a snake. Once it's done here, hand it over here. Do what you can. I know some of you guys are asking, but Tino, I don't carry cash. I get mugged. That might be a possibility. And boy, do I have an announcement for you. We also take digital currency. So, yeah, right? It's 2024. It's Elon Musk's future. Yay! Sorry, my bad. So, if you have a Venmo, you can send us some money at Venmo, Foglifter Press. Foglifter-Press? Foglifter-Press. And that money will not come to me, it'll go straight to Foglifter. So, I'm gonna pass this here. Don't do not talk to me. Y'all. And it's gonna go around, and whatever you contribute, by all means, it's okay. Thank you. We're gonna move on with our night. Next up, we have Eden Nobile. So, Eden, he, they pronouns, is a trans writer originally from Connecticut River Valley, pursuing an MFA in poetry at St. Mary's College of California. I know that college. Their writing life is highly influenced by ecological, possibly the long-term effects of watching Animal Planet as a youth. I feel that so hard. Eden is a Risk Press Fellow and currently works at St. Mary's Library. You can find them on Instagram at eden.nobelium. Everyone please show some love to Eden!
So the first poem I'm going to read was the one in the issue. I don't know what page it's on.
38.
38. Thank you. It's on page 38. And it's called Transmania Devil. It's about Tasmania devils. And some vocab. I use the word Purinina in this poem, and Purinina is Palawakani for Tasmanian devil, which is an Aboriginal language. Transmania devil. I would have no trouble passing if my transition was to Tasmanian devil. If instead of being a trans man, a trans something / other, if I was a Transmanian devil, sarcophilus meaning flesh lover, I would pass no problem. Tasmanian devils have dog-sized, rat-proportioned bodies. Big ass skulls to accommodate the strongest bite force of any animal on land. So when their jaws unhinge, it's like the open yawn of a gulch a giant could curl his back into. The English on the shore thought their screams were sent via Satan to torture the living. What you would call true is that I'm horned. Vegetal hermaphrodite. They call me, or I call myself. But the word devil comes from the root meaning slander, and Tasmania comes from the name of a Dutch explorer. The island doesn't have just one name. Back before landmass broke away, during storms the devils hid in the same caves as humans. These devils had no name, save Purinina, which has no tether to the idea of the devil, an idea which was molded from satyrs on pots, swinging their dicks and drinking on Dionysian feast days. Purinina ate the sheep the settlers brought, making them devilish. The devils devoured the sheep the same way the satyr devoured the goat, the same way the devil devoured Dionysus, the same way Satan froze Purinina in a cave and held him, an uneasy truce, waiting for thunder to pass. Gods, animals, words get eaten. Horns are placed atop our heads regardless, and what can we do but continue munching on carrion? Like always, Dionysus is raised by sheep and by nymphs. Paranina rests his scarred maw in the dirt, and the demons lie eating flesh, girl-faced and terrible. This next poem is called Atresia. Atresia, an absence or closure of a natural passage of the body. My mother asks her mother at the changing table, "Does this look right to you?" A slap of rockweed, nodes silent in the tide. Brown algae sinuous at the shore. She gathers wormwood, treats indigestion, parasitic infection, menstruation. Tendrils of a great star that fell on a third of the rivers and turned the springs of water bitter. Reeds yet to sprout out of mud, the marsh hawks wing through, barren. The doctor opens a book. It may in time happen on its own. She washes little feet in the marble sink in the months before the mouth beside the long tidal river opened. I must have gotten the worm memo because I also brought a worm poem, so heart for worms. I also use the word worm, W-Y-R-M, in this poem, which is an Old English word that means dragon. And this poem is about growing up as a little trans kid, and kind of like my boyhood kind of felt like a worm that I had to hide. So it's called Boyhood. Boyhood. The worm curls away as a finger runs along its stem. Hydrostatic, hypersensitive, to oil, to salt, to vertebrates covered in the stuff. The worm tries to dig into palm as if it could disappear in skin the way it phases through rocky soil, where it breathes underground, underwater, umbilical between fossils, leaving coils of just love dirt, pink saddle sonar pulsing, words, worms, worms, at the bottom of a nameless stream. When the earth floods, the worm slips easily through being, but rain clouds eventually skip out, and the worm is left baking on the hot sidewalk, bracing for the bottom of a shoe. Even as it lays against death's face, the worm turns again, again. Okay, this last one I wrote last year, earlier this year, after Next Benedict, who was a trans teen in Oklahoma, was beaten in the bathroom and died. And it was actually written from a prompt of Zaina Hashim-Beck, who's a really cool poet, gave us in class to write a utopian poem, or whatever you causes pain disappears. So this poem is called Transsexual Dream. We shit outside, pile it in mounds, and use it to fertilize our zucchini. We are waiting for you, up the trail, downstream, where sugar runs. We are washing our hands from source to mouth. We pass stones over our feet, curl straw into our hair, with no mirror to overlook, no tile unwilling to hold our bodies. Here our cats are gods of lightning, and follow where we go to squat, like deer or devils together. Our piss kisses the soil, weaves through the grass, and forks at a boulder. Here, there are no stalls, so I watch your back, and you watch mine. Here, we are not strangers. None of us have ever been afraid of a hole in the ground. None of us carve our stomachs to the sound of a door opening. None of us clutch the toilet seat, waiting as laughter passes, or goes on and on and on. Here, there is no carve, no clutch, no clench. Here we have only release, only streams, only tides, long and unbroken.
Thank you, Eden, and show some love to Eden, please. Thank you. All right, folks, finally here, our last reader of the evening. We have someone special. Our last reader is Grayson Thompson. Right, I know. Grayson Thompson, he, him pronouns, is a Black, Jamaican, American, queer, transgender, cowboy poet who moonlights as a therapist. Nice. A mouthful. Grayson is a Foglifter Press 2024 Start a Riot Chapbook Prize winner with Bodied Florida Boy, forthcoming 2025, and winner of the Right Bloodies 2024 Jack McCarthy's Book Prize for his full-length collection, forthcoming 2025. You can find the personal site at www.graysonthompson.com or on Instagram at Grayson Writes Poems. Everyone, please show some love to our last reader of the evening and the winner of our Start a Riot Chapbook contest, Grayson Thompson.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? My Instagram is Grayson Writes Poems. Please go there because I'm bad at Instagram. And if you can if everyone in here follows me, that'll meet a big goal. And I won't post often and my posts won't be great. So if you can do that, I'd appreciate that. I'm really humbled to be the Chapbook Prize winner. I'm so excited to be here with all these amazing writers. I was looking forward to this week. My first poem is the title poem of my chapbook. It's called Bodied Florida Boy. The chapbook is about reimagining how messy childhood can be. I also moonlight as a therapist. That's what I do for an income in this capitalistic, dystopian life. So I think a lot about children. I think a lot about how we got here, and I think a lot about being from Florida and what it means to live in a society where sometimes we forget that queer people are from these places, and do worse, either forget them or pity them. And I'm really proud to be from that place. Also, I'm super nervous, so remind yourself.
You got this?
Bodied Florida Boy. It is rude to be told you come from nowhere. Swamp and sweaty ocean, 8 million people drinking water from the Everglades. You do not know what it is like to be raised, baptized in dinosaur bones. Called my mother through the silence of palm trees, dragged myself from the marsh, hummed myself humid, hailed every word after a Jehovah Witness door knock, throat orange hurricane spun me into a hermit. Tried to kill my queerness on the porch. 10-legged behind a rear view, shell of a child eating dark worded bees whole in reflection gospel. Send my ashes to Fort Lauderdale Beach. Complete the promise I made to Ma that I'll come back soon. Never knew how to mean it. Didn't mean to go missing with each grain. There's an audience of every sad thing in my bedroom. Open the window, shake the sand out. I want to be back in my body. This next poem is about being in therapy. It's pretty short. If you haven't been to therapy, check it out. It's not that bad. Yeah, check out therapy. The Liberation Institute in San Francisco is a queer grassroots organization. That's where I did my clinical training. It's true sliding scale. Some of my clients paid $1 when I was in practicum. Super accessible. So that's it. My therapist crosses his leg. I count the bounces of his foot across the bow of his posture, rhythming the silence. My body plays muffled music, and the strings break all the time. There is no noise, no feeling above the SOS scars across my chest, is an open field. I am trying to keep the flowers alive. This next poem is about my mom, because I'm a writer, so I write about the people that traumatize us the most. My mom may read my chapbook and not know how to be proud of me. If doubling down was a person, I'd like you to meet my mom. She is stubborn, doesn't rest, runs on a wheel accelerating out of her body. Her hands smell like thyme, cold leather, onions and garlic, the soil of where she comes from. I don't know if she knows where home is anymore. She never said much about how she got here, who she was before she changed her name to Mom, who I was with when the news said Aaliyah died in the plane crash, then left eye in a car crash, next to in the New York sky when the towers collapsed, and I asked her if the captain would kill us. Her middle baby hiding herself away, trying to fill this hollow shape, who watched her youngest baby's urine fill the toilet black, who put me on a bus to Maine because I asked her for adventure, watched Emerald Lagasse, bam, bam, bam. Didn't laugh when I said I wanted to become a chef. That's true, I wanted to become a chef. Ate every omelet I ever made, which was just hot dogs and bell peppers and onions. Custom to order, baked every delicious thing with, never questioned how I made a cave out of the closet corner and read every escaping book. Called me intelligent and inquisitive, told me I asked too many questions. I still ask too many questions. Heard her when she said she was depressed. Every pain side with age, reject the brainstorm of ways she can take better care, like therapy, moving her body for something other than labor, stop sleeping with the news on. I watched my mom become a cake decorator, learn how to drive a car, say enough to every awful man, eat less so we can have more, get a high school diploma, be an imperfect person, sit alone in the living room, listened to Shania Twain, the soundtrack to Grease, the Bee Gees, Celine Dion, asking for my hand in front of the audience of Fish Tank Rainbow, smiling louder than a church bell, dance with your mother, every recorded Oliver play where you taught me about the history of our country, of art and pantomime. In high school, she missed every play and choir concert, missed my solo, my trio singing Boys to Men with a white boy. That's also true. She probably could have done better by missing that. She had to work, or the girls needed care, or that private school made her feel small. Those people who made me feel small, or like in the Titanic, maybe there really wasn't enough room for the both of us. Lost at sea, and maybe my mother, maybe she chose me. Mom, I always wanted to be where you were, where you came from. Barris Hammond in the car singing, remember the songs that used to make you rock away. Those were the days when love used to reign. We danced all night to the songs they played. Weekend come again, do it just the same. I have 2 more poems. This next poem is about, I like it because it's about what I fantasize writers do sometimes, which is like organic inspiration. And I was really sick at the beginning of the year, and I kept hearing a leaf blower go like for days. And I had a fever, and I was sweating, and every morning this leaf blower kept going and going. And I started thinking, like, who made the leaf blower and how everyone hates that noise. And, like, what happened to that person's, like, kids? And then I read about a New York Times editor leaving the magazine in protest, and they talked about the shape of writing. And that was all in the same week, so I was thinking about that. And I was thinking about making a salad, so making a salad. The Blower's Child. A 2023 study suggests if we leave leaves to coat everything honest about winter and decomposition, then the earth and all that we couldn't carry will come back stronger. There's so much life under our boots after marching this evisceration dance living can put us through. So much leaf hollering from where your roots came from. In the 70s, 2 cities banned leaf blowers for all the grief crying out the gasket. Imagine someone living inside of our bodies, filling that machine, eating all of that becoming, sucking to get full on pain, its emptiness, the shape of fallout, sheltering our collective bloom. I would hide too, inside this true-hearted trumpet shell of a jazz riot, beach sleeping ocean hair, black goldenrod, sweet grass tongue out, ass shaking in the summer, beautiful body. My body, full of syllables as stilettoed as Megan Thee Stallion when suffering made a constellation out of her body, as intimate as Michael, the black librarian a county away who got bullied on the internet for doing everything right, for trying to fill that emptiness shape with library cards, with tattoos and afros, with poetry. Megan Thee Stallion is one of my crushes. I use her as case studies for my mental health workshops.
Yes!
What can I say? She's amazing. This last poem is for little Ethan, who asked his mom how she knew she was a girl, so she asked her friends how she knew they were themselves. It's called Joy Came After the Prerequisite Courses. Girls felt footloose and furl, pink and pain. The first word was rage. Everything after was Scrabble. Everything in me, a crooked painting, an orbiting mind house. My boyness, best dressed in apologies, latched shame to my earlobes and told me I was so pretty. An impatient daydream and a life stuck in baggage claim, the origin story of becoming. I didn't think there were girls like me anywhere who felt sad at everything green. I am so sorry you are growing up in a world filled with leftovers of people with missing parts. You came out just the way you should, I swear to God, feeling every injury, lemons filleting our tenderness. We are all made up of stardust, all of us. Big bangs around a table trying to make sense of microwave fettuccine. I still don't know what being a boy feels like, much less a man. Felt most like praise when my reflection wasn't the worst company, when the scars wrote cry across my chest. No longer terrified of what girls had, a softness that evaporates whispers, undoing everything we project to protect ourselves from being held. I've been a mountain of mouth guards my whole life, custom fitting all the hardest parts inside, a cave mouth breaking the back of any truth trying to echo, a rubble of surrender, a rebellion of memories. Y'all, I have 35,460 miles of grief behind me, and baby, it's beautiful when you look at it without blinking. Made mistakes in big font to come here and tell you the words in our heads don't know the difference between cursing and spelling. All the words for future are already on our lips. This life that chose me gave me a blessing in swallowing me whole, showed me that true mercy, my honest recovery, began with telling myself an unbearable truth. I love you. Forcing each syllable in until everything I touched had to make the same choice. Say it again. This life, my life that chose me, gave me a blessing in swallowing me whole, showed me that true mercy, my honest recovery, began with telling myself an unbearable truth. I love me. Forcing each syllable in until everything I touched, everything I fucked, everything I knew had to make the same choice.
See why you won that contest. Make some noise for Grayson. A few things before I let you go. Everyone, if you haven't done an issue, now is your time. Don't be queer and sad. Just be queer. You can be sad next week. Grab a copy over there for only $15. Yeah, grab a copy. Only $15. You don't have to buy it. Exactly. Don't forget to say hi to and new queer that's next to you, if you haven't met them yet. Tell the writers you see tonight that you love their work. And secondly, if you see that you have a survey, you have not filled it out yet beforehand, please fill it out. When you are done, you can turn those into Sarah. Sarah, please raise your hand. Hi, Sarah. Turn in your surveys over there to Sarah. The amazing work that LitQuake does cannot improve without your feedback. So please, take 2 minutes to fill out the survey and turn it in to Sarah. If you've enjoyed tonight, please check out other LitQuake events happening from now until October 26th, where the festival will conclude with the Lit Crawl, with the 25th annual Lit Crawl. For more information, please visit the LitQuake website at litquake.org. That's LITQUAKE.org. I can't spell, I'm telling you, that's why I have to write that down. Thank you for the staff. A special thanks to the staff at Foglifter, Chad, Charlie, Mia. Please stand up. Show them some love, y'all. Yeah! Once again, thank you to Baruch and the lovely people here at our lovely home, Strut. And also, show some to Patty. Accessibility is so important. Another special round of applause to our readers, Amalee, Sienna, Eden, and Grayson. And show some love to yourself for coming out on a Friday night and enjoying yourself with us. Everyone, please get home safely. I have been Tino. This has been our new Foglifter issue release party. You have all been amazing. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Lock your bottoms, spade and neuter your tops. See Christ.
Wow.